4, 3, 2, 1, engage!
Hey Spartans, I'm Ella.
And I'm Parker.
Thanks for tuning in. To begin, we hope you enjoyed your 3-day weekend.
On June 7th, there's a choir concert from 7 to 8.
And on June 9th, there's a band and African drums concert from 7 to 8 as well.
Now we have Grace with an interview on space.
Over to you, Grace.
Hey guys, so for some reason this week I've been thinking a lot about space, so I was curious. I had some random questions about space that I wanted to ask you guys, so let's go. Okay, so if you could go to space, where would you go?
Probably Mars.
It's really cool. If everything in space was edible for one day, what would you eat?
Grass.
Okay. If you could design any spaceship, what would it look like?
It would be square, and it would have sparkles on it, and it'd be bright pink.
Okay, let's go to the next group. Okay, if everything in space was edible for a day and like tasted like candy, what would you eat?
I don't know.
What about you?
The stars.
Stars. If you could design any spaceship that would actually work, what would it look like? I'll give you a second. Sure.
A spaceship.
Yeah, what would it look like? Would it just look like a spaceship, or would you like make it look cool?
It'd be like round. It would be like round. It would look like This is a Salk mania. You can't say that. I think I'd have like it star shaped.
Okay. Those responses were definitely interesting, especially CJ's. What would you do? What would you eat, Parker? Where would you go, Ella? Back to the studio.
Thank you, Grace. The planet I would go to is Jupiter.
And I would eat an asteroid belt. All the yearbooks will be handed out on the 15th. And on the 16th, during 6th period, there will be a yearbook signing party in the gym.
We have Frankie with our weekly weather. How's the weather, Frankie?
Thanks, Studio. Here is the next 7-day weather forecast for Spokane, Washington. On Friday, it'll be 70 degrees, and there will be rain with a chance of thunder and lightning. On Saturday, it'll be 65 degrees with rain. On Sunday, it'll still be raining with a high of 66 degrees, so make sure to have your umbrellas over the weekend. On Monday, it'll be 66 degrees with clouds. On Tuesday, it'll be 68 degrees with clouds. It'll start to warm up as we get later into the week, with a high of 70 and a high of 71 for both Wednesday and Thursday. That's it for this week. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Frankie. Now we have Everett interviewing the miracle on Lindeke Street.
Over to you, Everett.
Thank you, Studio. I'm here with Mr. Carnell. How's your day going, Mr. Carnell?
It's going very well. Thank you, Everett.
So, we had a big game yesterday.
It was a huge game. It was the last game of the year.
Yeah, we scored 13-6, I believe.
We did. We beat Shaw yesterday convincingly, but the big news is what took place before the game, Everett.
Yeah, down on home plate.
At home plate. And I've got evidence right here on the iPhone 5 to show you that.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
It was video evidence. It wasn't one of these grainy photos that Parker was talking about of Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. It's clear as a bell.
Yeah, 4K.
3 words describe it. I think of the Latin phrase venimus, vidimus, visimus, which means we came, we saw, and we conquered. And the reason why I use the Latin is it's very similar open scale to what Julius Caesar in 5 BC faced when he crossed the Rhine River.
And that's very interesting. And it really just was a miracle that we were able to rebuild home plate and make it just this nice, beautiful garden.
It was. We came up to the field, and it was a pond, and it's something, the miracle on Lindeke Street is something you'll be telling your grandkids about.
Yeah, I'm going to be telling this story my whole life.
I would also like to thank the junior varsity, all three teams. I think what's important is where we started and where we finished are at two different places, and I mean that in the positive direction. And I look forward to you guys turning out next year, and for JV as well as varsity, look forward to a great year next year.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carnell.
You're welcome.
All right, back to you, studio.
Thank you, Everett.
That's really cool. I was able to experience that amazing miracle, and I was able to help in making that amazing miracle on home plate.
Nice.
Yeah. It looks like a garden. You could plant
Yeah.
tulips in there.
Remember, we have exactly 2 weeks of school left, so make sure you have no missing assignments and your grades are up.
If you have a D or an F, you have to go to summer school.
Also, remember, on the last day of school, we get out at noon.
Now we have McKenna with an interview on the Math Casino.
Over to you, McKenna.
Thank you, Spartan Studio. I'm here with some geometry kids asking about what this is behind us. So, what's your name?
My name is Daisy.
So what is this? All I know is that geometry and band is involved.
So currently, right now, we are in our probability unit. And so this is like our test. We had to create a game, a 2-event game. So for example, me and my 2 partners, Dahlia and Olivia, we had to make a game, and we called ours the Nickelodeon game. So what you do is on our game specifically, you roll a dice, and then if you land on an even number, then you get to move on, pick out of 4 characters, and then spin a spinner. If the spinner lands on your correct character, then you win, and then we have like snacks to help bribe.
That sounds fun. So does geometry do this every year, or is it just this year exclusive?
I believe they have done this every single year, but they didn't do it last year because of COVID. Yeah.
Okay, that's something really fun to look forward to for next year's geometry kids. On to the next student. Here are our next students. So what's your name?
Jaden.
Brooklyn.
So I hear that this is like a probability game. So what kind of activities are there?
It's like dice rolling and like spinners and like card drawing to see how much money people can win.
Nice. That sounds really fun. Have you won any prizes yet?
No, I was scammed.
That's I'm sorry. So do you think this is like a fun activity?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Why not?
Because I'm the one who had to make it, so like, no.
It seems pretty fun to make. Like you get to make all of these like fun games, and like you get to like make it like.
That's what we thought, and then we realized our game was like a scam, like when we set it up. So that was.
What's your game?
It's the one in the back's cheesy cards.
Nice. Did you make any games?
No, I'm just playing. I'm not a part of it.
Nice. That sounds really fun. Back to the studio.
Thank you, McKenna. That was a pretty cool Math Casino, Mr. Bush's class.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's it for this week, Spartans. We hope you have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, Spartans.